Hello, my name is Nikki and welcome back to another Let's Draw. We're continuing on the portrait theme, and today's drawing is a really chill, really relaxed girl. Really chill, really meditative. I really liked this image. I especially liked the colors of this one. It was really saturated on her skin, and there was this like hazy tone to it that was kind of over the top. And I do add this a layer on the top of everything to kind of give that effect. I'm not sure how effective it was, but I did my best to try and capture that. But the colors of this piece were very stark. You know, it was a lot of high contrast. As for the sketch, I was struggling a little bit with the proportions. I don't know if you noticed, like in the very beginning, I had enlarged the face like a lot compared to my original. And I don't know why that happens. It could be like I tried like having the size of my reference image the same size as the canvas I'm drawing on, so that when my eyes are looking and trying to pick up the proportions, I'm getting similar proportions. I still struggled with this one for some reason. And I did struggle with her mouth, letting it look like bucked teeth, because it didn't look like that in the picture, I don't think. You can check out the reference in the description below. But I struggled with that for a while. In the painted version, I got an acceptable version of it, I think, in the end. But the overall feel of this piece was really nice, really soothing, really meditative. I really liked it. But yeah, about the sketch, it's actually a pretty simple sketch. Not as simple as like Plum Oasis. That one's like really simple. But thinking of it now, actually, the skin was not that simple. I mean, compared to a lot of my other pieces, it might have been simple, but it really wasn't. The texture on the bed was really simple. The texture of the hair was really simple. But so like some aspects were easy and some were not. So overall, I guess I felt it was kind of simple. But then again, I'm kind of from just taking this from memory. This was a while back now that I've completed this. Maybe a month, maybe more than a month ago. So I'm not even remembering clearly how I felt when I was doing it. But yeah, as you can see, looking at the mouth right now, you can kind of see how the teeth look a little bit too protruded from the mouth because of the colors that I chose. And I do struggle with that when I get to painting it, rendering it out later. But you can see now, like, the colors that I'm choosing for the skin are super saturated, and the comparison between the lights and the darks is really stark. Like, you can see how dark the darks are next to the really light complexion of her skin, and how saturated that like red tone is there right next to the darks. It's really stark and it's really strong, and that made it the painting of this really fun and interesting, you know. Comparing this to like my not the last one, sorry, it's like one that I did early in October. It hasn't been posted on YouTube yet, but that one I did not choose a very good reference. The contrast was not very good, the quality was not very good, and as a result I had a really bad painting experience. I did not like the final product. Sure, I got compliments on it, but I was not happy with it, and it was not a fun draw at all. So I've learned my lesson. A lesson I should have known already is to make sure you choose good reference with good contrast and good quality, so that you can utilize the reference to its fullest, you know, and not have to make things up, especially when you're learning. But now we're into the render, and you can see like how that really orange saturated color blocking that I did earlier really makes the face pop. You know, you can see how it makes the skin look alive. It's really cool, and it's something that I want to remember for future pieces, like when I'm starting to do more from imagination. Speaking of a piece from imagination, I actually did another one recently, like the last piece that I just finished at the time of recording this, end of October, was my piece from imagination. It's going to be a couple of paintings away from this one, so you won't see it on YouTube yet, but I was pretty happy with that. I did struggle with some things, but I actually didn't remember this tip, which was like the really saturated light saturated colors next to the shadows really makes a difference. I'm trying to learn, and I'm gonna get it, and I'll remember and utilize these things in my pieces from imagination. But for now, I'll still struggle until I get it. The nose of this one came out really nice, I thought. I got a good angle of the nose, and there's that slight highlight, like the catching of the light in the under of the nose, that was subtle but really worked really well, and I was happy with the nose on this one, as opposed to the mouth. I wasn't very happy with the mouth. And the eyes were good. I loved the shadows from the eyelashes. That was a cool touch that I did pick up from the reference, and it came out pretty nice. All right, so now I'm onto the mouth that I struggled with so much. The lips were okay for the most part. I think I was happy with the lips, if I'm remembering correctly, but it was just the teeth. I couldn't get the teeth to work. It just looked like buck teeth, and it could be, I don't know. I never know like what the problem is when I get this problem. Like, is it that I tried, like, you see what I just did is made the highlight really darkened it, so it kind of made the teeth recede into the shadows more, and that really helped, but I still didn't like it. I still didn't like the mouth. I kind of just kept it, but I was not happy with it. And now we're onto the eyebrows, which are pretty simple. I didn't do too much. I just did a few strands on the outside there. You can kind of see, but I kind of kept it pretty simple overall. The face is finishing up pretty rapidly. Doing some cleanups around the edges there. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot the ear again. Doing the ear now. The ear is pretty simple because it was in the shadows. And one thing you should do, like when you're doing things in the shadows, is not to over detail, because the shadows are gonna hide a lot of the detail of the pieces of things. So, oh my gosh, I loved the neck. Like, I thought, like, especially because it was in shadow and it was like you didn't want to like over highlight and over darken, or not over darken, but not over highlight things. So it came out really realistic. I thought I was really happy with the neck, like especially when the hair is done there. It was really, really good. I like it. Like right now, just looking at it, it looks really good. And now I'm trying to finish the hand. The hands, I struggle with hands sometimes. I hate to like do them from imagination. I tend to not put hands into my picture. Like I'll try like with a sketch, and then I'll be like, no. Like I'll do a sketch with the hands in it, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna draw this, not gonna paint this. So I never choose the one with the hands, unless like I have a good reference. So now we're doing the clothes, and the clothes are really simple. I didn't really have to do much because it was just like blending in those shaded areas that I made, and actually blurring the edges because it was out of focus in the reference. As you can see, if you take a look at the reference, I was doing the blur of the edges of the hair as well because it's supposed to be out of focus. And I did like struggle with the edge, that little hair at the edge of the face, because I was trying to make it have the blur without like letting it mess up next to the face, because the hair was on a layer above the face, I believe. So as you see what I just did a giant selection around the hair so that I could paint it in and get the details that I wanted. But I mean, apart from like the edges of the hair, it was a pretty simple mask. It wasn't like very detailed, especially because of the hazy effect that I was talking about, that you're gonna see when I put in the last over, like the last layer on top of everything. You're gonna see it's gonna change it, the overall feel of the piece. But I was really happy overall with this piece. There are some things I wasn't happy with, like the mouth, but overall it was well rendered for me, so I was happy with it. Anyways, this is coming to the end of this one. Again, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to me yabber away. Hopefully you keep watching these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I look forward to catching you in the comments, or maybe even on my Twitch channel later on. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.